Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got Camera Guy's Silver WJ on the lift. So this one's got a JK front axle and he's still rocking the D44A rear axle, 456 gears, has that factory Vari-Lok. He's running 35s. He's not real happy with how that Vari-Lok is locking up for his 35s, so we're going to show you guys what it takes to drop in an Aussie Locker into a 44A. A couple things you'll need. We got to get rid of that Vari-Lok differential, so we went to the junkyard, pulled out a selec-trac open carrier, and we do have different axle shafts, so we need those as well. So we're going to show you guys how to get that out of there. This one we're going to have to swap the ring gear over, and in doing that we're going to have to check the pattern, make sure that's still good to go with the new open carrier. Show you how to put the Aussie Locker in and then reassemble everything, so he'll have a ratchet style locker and not have to worry about if those clutches are going to hold up or not. So let's get our D44A diff skid out of there, get this differential drained, and while that's draining we'll tear apart our wheel ends and get that differential out. Oh yeah, not too bad. So if you don't have one of these silver slappers, slide hammers, it saves you so much time. I don't know that Camera Guy's ever had these shafts out. Obviously it's got a leaking wheel seal, but that just saved us a lot of messing around. Yours is coming out way easier than the junkyard one did. Camera Guy wants me to say some stuff, so some stuff. No, we got two new bearings coming from the parts store. Should be here any minute. So we're swapping over our ring gear because Camera Guy's running 456s. So don't have to swap out pinion. We're gonna swap the ring gear over to the open carrier, and then we'll press our new bearings on. Then we're gonna have to check pattern, make adjustments to our carrier. Hopefully we don't gonna mess with our pinion depth at all, but we will if we have to. So the Vari-Lok's got this nice fun little plate that's pressed on or set on underneath the bearing, so it makes getting these bolts out real fun. We don't need it, we don't care about it, so I just cut a notch in it, spun it around so I get all the bolts out, and just seconds away from getting the ring gear off. All right, so we have our new open carrier in the axle. We got our 456 ring gear on there. We did new bearings on it. We had to make some adjustments from the 456 setup, different carrier, slight differences. So we did have to check pattern. Everything's good to go now. So everything's torqued, pattern's good. Now we're gonna start working on putting in our Aussie Locker. So some people will be starting from this point. Some people will be starting, at the beginning of the video with the Vari-Loks. Either is fine. So we've got an E8, so a reverse torque holding our cross pin in. So you want to crack that loose. For video purposes, we did not pull this out because we wanted to show you guys in frame, but you can gut this before putting it in. Boom. We're gonna save these. When I did one of these on my WJ years ago, I wasn't doing a re-gear. Mine already had an open carrier, so I just pulled the carrier out and worked on it on the bench, which you can do. Might be a little easier. There we go. She's gutted. All right, so this all leads up to this moment. On our website, we sell the Aussie Locker, which is going to replace our open carrier and give us a true locker feel. So basically we're going to be replacing a few things. We've got some small pins and springs to install. So we'll walk you through it. It's pretty simple once you've gotten to this point. Sometimes you got to finagle some stuff in there. We're going to reuse our center pin and our locking pin and our thrust washers. The rest of this is going to go away. So we're going to jump on Aussie's website, grab their instructions to make sure we're doing it correctly, making sure we're giving you guys good information. We've got that gutted, we've got that cleaned out, so we're ready to start assembly. So give me a second, I'm going to get this cleaned up and then we'll jump in.
Is it really made in Australia?
So it's right on the front of the box. Made in the USA.
It's a weird shape for America.
So Torq Masters is the one that makes the Aussie Locker. Says put a little dab of grease on the back side of your gear here, just to hold your thrust washers in place while we do the install. Doesn't take much. Just kind of stick them to it. So we're reusing our thrust washers. Check your locker if you're using this as an install video in general for a Torq Masters locker. Some of them reuse thrust washers, some come with new ones, some get rid of them. So just pay attention to your instructions. This one is specific for the 44A. So these are going to go on the inside. I guess I don't really see a point in needing the grease, but we'll go with their recommendation. So instructions say to do the ratchet gear on the ring gear side first. So they also say if you want to grease this here, you can, just to hold it in place. We're going to see how it goes dry, and then I'll second guess my decision and I'll end up greasing it anyway. Yep, we're going to grease it. So we put some grease on there. Hopefully this will hold it in place. So we're doing the ring gear side first. So now we're going to do the passenger side, greased it up. And then you want to rotate these so you've got a, you're not going to see it here, but there's a closed section and an open section. So every other one will be opposite. And you need that because our pin's going to sit in here, our spring's going to sit here. We'll show you what that looks like. So these are our pins and our springs, and each pin has got a little dimple on it. So this is going to slide into that closed body section like this, and in the open end, spring's going to sit like that. Put them in one at a time, slowly work it around, make sure everything is still where it needs to be, and by the time you get the fourth spring in, should be good to go. Alright, so again, closed end's got the pin, that little nipple is right here, and set your spring in. Kind of hard to, get a good flathead, and I just pried off of the outside, bends a little, and then it just get the back started, snaps right in. Now we'll spin 180 and get the other one so that it's holding the locker kind of square in there, and then we'll put our other two in. Alright, dimple, facing the open end. There we go. So now all we got left is to put our slide pin in. So we'll have to line up our locker cross pin hole, and then make sure you got the right side sticking out. Cross pin's only got one hole in it, so it's got to go this way. excited to go to Moab with an actual locker this time?
Yes.
Any specific trails that you think will go better?
I did Pritchett Canyon with the limited slip.
Did you struggle on Pritchett Canyon with the limited slip?
A little bit.
So, camera guy at Trail Jam last year, or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, peeled his diff cover on the 44A twice, pounded his diff cover back flat, and rebolted it in, all using a LubeLocker. And we're just now deciding to put in a new one because there's a chunk of the corner missing out of his cover. So we got another cover. We're gonna change out the LubeLocker. After using these, I will never go back to just lubing up a cover and slapping it on, because then you got to clean it off every time. It's a big pain in the butt. Whereas this, unbolt it, do what you got to do, reuse this, bolt it back on. They seal dang near every time. So you can get them on our website as well, but I'm a huge fan of the LubeLockers.
Definitely worth the $25 or whatever they cost.
Well, think of the amount of money you'll have into buying tubes and tubes of silicone over the years.
As soon as this thing's bolted up, you're ready to put oil in it.
Yep. Which, come to think of, got oil for this thing? Super easy install for D44 diff skid, which with this new one you can see how much of that 44A aluminum housing is gone and why he was peeling diff covers. And that's why these guys designed this. You lose a little bit of ground clearance, but what you gain in confidence of not worrying about your aluminum housing is huge. So we are all put back together. We got our diff skid on, we got our LubeLocker in there, we got our new Aussie ratchet locker in there. She's full of fluid. We got the open carrier axle shafts in there. So it's a very simple job. Hardest part probably is rechecking your pattern if you're not familiar with how to do that. There's plenty of videos out there, people showing how to check backlash, set pinion preload, all that. We didn't have to change out our pinion. All we did was swap over a ring gear, checked our pattern, made a couple little adjustments, and we're good to go. So if you guys have any questions on doing this swap, drop a comment, give me a call. I'm gonna see what it's gonna take to offer this as a new upgrade. If you don't wanna go to the junkyard, I'll see if I have the capability of kind of packaging all this together. So you can have new axle shafts, new carrier, locker, all the goodies, get your diff skid, get your LubeLocker. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I believe this one's ready for our Moab trip. We've got quite a bit to do on a couple of our other rigs, so we'll get a couple more videos out on those before Moab. Yeah, that one needs a lot of love before April.
Yep.
But thanks for hanging out, guys. Drop a comment, subscribe, give me a call if you guys have any questions. Thanks for hanging out.